Welcome back to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and today we have two major stories here, one having to do with the Nintendo Direct next week, and of course, what? Is this a price drop? What is Nintendo doing? Of course, I'll take you along the road for a trip around the world of Nintendo to see what's happening. So let's get started.
Welcome to the Odyssey. Hit the like, press play. You're running with the squad like Xenoblade. Drive like Mario, we on a...
Alright, so before we begin, if you could help me get to 50K before October 12th, I would really appreciate it. We are only about 7,000 subscribers away, which is, yeah, I see how I can hear myself now. But I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, if you find value in this video, and click the bell for notifications. And thank you so much in advance. Let's get started with the video. Alright, so let's start with Nintendo Switch Online. Nintendo last night just shadow dropped some games for the Super Nintendo, for the NES, and for the Game Boy. We're talking about Super Nintendo, Kirby's Star Stacker, for the NES, Joy Mech Fight, and Downtown Nektetsu March Super Awesome Field Day. That's a really long name. And of course for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, Quest for Camelot. I mean, Quest for Camelot is a game that I've always liked because it reminded me of Zelda, and I wish this game would have gone further when it comes, because it would have given Zelda like a run for its name, because it's also a really good adventure kind of open world type of game. So there you have it, Nintendo Switch Online. We got 4 new games added to Nintendo Switch Online, and I don't think this is the end of it. I think we're gonna see more, and this Nintendo Direct is gonna be crazy, but we'll talk about that later on. Let's move on to the next topic for today. And oh my, that hurts. This is bad news for Legend of Zelda fans. I mean, for those who care, like me, you know, the Legend of Zelda producer says no DLC for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, as they rather make a new entry. So, I mean, yeah, the game is big enough, I think. I think that the game is actually the biggest Zelda game ever made. There's so many side quests to complete, there's so many things to do, and it has the replayability of the game is massive. So I really do understand, but I wish it would have added master mode. I mean, the game is already in master mode, but you know, little things here and there, like, you know, I guess we can make our own games, right? Pokemon fans do it. They actually make up their own games within the Pokemon Play, so I guess we can do the same thing with Zelda. But yeah, no DLC coming for Zelda, confirmed by the Legend of Zelda producer. So there you have it. Sorry, guys. Alright, so VGC recently sat down with Toshiro Nagoshi. He is the producer for F-Zero GX, the game that everybody is clamoring for to make it to the Nintendo Switch or Switch 2, because F-Zero is such an amazing franchise. And I know that back in the past, we actually covered a news article that basically stated that this game is dead, right? The producer himself said that that game is not going to be made because Nintendo wanted to focus more on Mario Kart and not F-Zero. They didn't want to have two games, racing games competing against each other or something sort of like that. That's what the article said, not me. Don't judge me. I'm just kind of living the news. But here we sat down again. VDC sat down with the same producer again, talking about F-Zero. And, well, he really mentioned and stated that the game is really something close to him, right? He loves the game, and he would really love to actually make the game again, or even remaster the game. When asked about whether this will be possible, the producer basically kind of pointed out, hey, it really is not up to me. It's Nintendo, and it's up to what they want to do. I really hope that they consider taking a look at F-Zero again, but it's really not up to me. It's up to Nintendo, and there's really nothing I can do. So basically, he kind of reinstated what he said in the past when it comes to F-Zero. I know that in future interviews with Toshiro Nagoshi, they're going to continue asking him about F-Zero DX, because it is a very beloved game, and all we're asking as fans is a port, right? We want the F-Zero GX game to be ported or remastered and brought up to the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2, you know? But that's an update on F-Zero for all you F-Zero fans out there. I really hope that this game does get a remaster or update, or maybe even a brand new installment in the game. I think it's time, and I am on board with all you F-Zero fans out there. So hopefully we'll get some positive news on F-Zero very soon. All right, now moving on to today's topics. We have two of them. One of them has to do with Nintendo and a price drop. Yes, Nintendo has issued a price drop, but not in the way that you think. Or maybe now that you understand what's happening around the world, you can see it, right? And of course, the Nintendo Direct, right? And I'm telling you, these two things go hand in hand. That's why I want to mention them together. One of them is the Nintendo Direct. I have a video that I created. Of course, it aged badly when it comes to when the Direct would be, because according to that video, the Direct was supposed to be today. That was just a guess, right? But the information within that video, I still stand for. So if you guys want to see my I actually kind of recreated a Nintendo Direct, right? I made a Nintendo Direct, and I put some games in there and some announcements that I think will be in this upcoming Nintendo Direct. So I'll have those links down below. Right after this video, go ahead and check that video out, because I think you will enjoy it. Just ignore the date. That's it. Just ignore the date. Everything else, golden. Everything else is good. All right, so yeah, Nintendo Direct happening next week. Nintendo went nuts over the past 24 hours and gave us something, and this is called a price drop. A lot of you out there are going to get it, because you guys are very smart. You're going to get it. This is Nintendo's way of price dropping before the Switch 2 comes out, okay? So let's go ahead and read from MyNintendoNews.com here. It says, Nintendo reveals a new Switch bundles coming in October 2023. As in October isn't not full enough already with so many games, we got more, right? Why October? What's the whole thing about October, right? October, there's way too much going on. So Nintendo is kicking it off the holidays early this year by announcing a season of offerings with something for everyone. Available October 6th. So this is the same exact day with the Mario Edition Switch is going to be available. Now we have two Animal Crossing, all right, Edition Switches. But these Edition Switches are a bit different. These are actually Edition Switches. The other ones were bundles, right? But now we have two Nintendo Switch Lite Animal Crossing editions. One for Timmy and Tommy, and then one for Isabelle, right? So these are really nice Switches. This is Nintendo's way of actually price dropping a Nintendo Switch, okay? Because the game is free, right? They're giving you a free game, so they're discounting they're making a discount on the game, and this is the way of actually price dropping a system. I don't think they're ever going to actually price drop a game. I think what they'll do is exactly this. They're going to add a game and just make it free, and then hope that helps with the sales of that certain console. Trust me, what Nintendo is doing here is getting rid of stock. I know that Switch Lite hasn't been really promoted that much, and the last edition we saw was the Pokemon, right? The Pokemon Palkia, the gray Switch Lite, and that was the very last one. I think that was about 2 years ago. And now we have another Switch Lite, but what Nintendo's actually doing is they're actually, getting rid of stock, taking everything back and kind of adding some print to it, because it's not that hard to add something to the Switches they've already made, like a print in the back and something in the front, and then sell it as an edition. I mean, the color doesn't change. They just added that print to the back, which I'm pretty sure for them is pretty easy to do, right? It's like a little tattoo that you add to the back of the Switch. But here we have what looks like Nintendo's way of price dropping these Nintendo Switches, right? We also have the Switch OLED Mario Edition, which I hope would have come with the game. This is their price drop, right? This is their way of trying to get to that 50 million mark of sales before the Switch 2 comes out. Another thing is that all of this gives me the heebie-jeebies for the Nintendo Direct, okay? And this means that this Nintendo Direct has the potential to be bigger than anyone ever thought before, because of all this movement happening here left and right. Nintendo has a lot on their plate, plus this Nintendo Direct. And let me remind you that September Nintendo Directs are normally focused in the first half of 2024. So, you already know what kind of games we're gonna listen to. We're gonna hear the Princess Peach game. We're gonna see the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon remake, right? And a couple other games that were announced for 2024. Hopefully we get some shadow drops for Metroid Prime, right? And then the announcement for Metroid Prime 4 for the summer of 2024, right? The last game for the Nintendo Switch, and a lot more, right? I think this Nintendo Direct will be one that will surprise a lot of people, make a lot of people happy, and of course make a lot of people upset because it's given, So I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about everything that's going on with Nintendo? Are you excited about these sales? Do you feel excited to get any of these bundles or sales knowing that there is a next gen system around the corner? What does this all mean to you? And the Nintendo Direct that's rumored and almost confirmed for next week, what do you think this all means for the world of Nintendo? And what would you love to see Nintendo announce? Those are my questions for you. If you can answer them right below in the comments, and then I will redirect you to this video right here, which will give you my Nintendo Direct predictions. You will enjoy this video, I promise you, and I'll see you in the next awesome adventure here at the Odyssey. But before I let you go, I got two things I need to let you know. Is number one, never give up, and number two, journey on. Peace.
Welcome to the Odyssey. Hit the like, press play. You're running with the squad like Xenoblade. Drive like Mario, we on a new way. Never slow down, winners don't need no breaks. And we won't fade, our shine gets greater. Staying on the ball like Pokemon trainers. From the nest to the Wii, we dangerous. You can button mash, but it ain't gonna save ya.